Well, like Liverpool, I'm making Tokyo my home for the next few days, and the Reds are in town, having touched down from Hong Kong at around about tea time yesterday evening with Luis Diaz in their contingent, but for how much longer we're not too sure. We know that Liverpool have now agreed a £65.5 million deal with Bayern Munich for the Colombia international, and that's a lot of Japanese yen, you have to say. The Colombia international has been given permission to fly out and complete the formalities of his move to the Bundesliga champions, and Liverpool are getting a really decent fee for a player who has been keen to explore his options. It's fair to say he has made it clear that he is looking to move away from Liverpool, having turned down 2 new contracts at various stages in recent months. And Liverpool, once they established that an agreement was never going to be in place, they were quite relaxed about the situation. He's got 2 years left on his current contract, and despite Diaz believing that he was perhaps worthy of an improved contract, Liverpool have been quite relaxed about the situation for the 28-year-old who has 2 years left on his deal. But he and his camp have agitated to make the move, and Liverpool have now given him permission to leave the camp and fly into Munich and complete the formalities of that deal. As we say, it'll be the 3rd most expensive transfer that Liverpool have ever completed as a sale, following on from Philippe Coutinho and Luis Suarez. And the big question as far as Liverpool are concerned now is, how is that reinvested? Alexander Isak, of course, is the big name on everyone's lips at the moment, and the Newcastle United striker is not with the Magpies on their own tour of the Far East. They were beaten 3-2 by Arsenal in Singapore last night, and Eddie Howe confirmed that there was no chance of the once away Isak joining up with the Magpies for the remainder of their tour. I think they're flying out to Korea to continue their pre-season preparations, but Isak will not be with them. Will he be with them when the Premier League season starts? That is the big question, and reports coming out of the North East was that the Magpies are braced for an offer from Liverpool worth a British record 120 million. That is a huge amount of money, but you have to say Diaz leaving for 65.5 offsets that. And Sporting Director Richard Hughes, once the Diaz sale has gone through, will have made around about 190 million in outgoing since his joining of the club at the start of last summer. So that is a pretty healthy return for sales, you have to say, pretty much when you consider that Liverpool haven't really lost anyone who they weren't happy to lose. Diaz, perhaps you can make a debate about that, but Liverpool are happy enough to let him go. They see his fee as a real market value, and that is the fee that they have agreed upon with Bayern Munich now, as we say. And yeah, how will he be replaced? Liverpool are saying that they're happy with their forward options, having completed a deal for Hugo Ekitike last week. But you have to say, if Diaz, someone who scored 17 goals across all competitions last season, if he is leaving the club, then there is a vacancy there, and Isak is not exactly a like-for-like replacement. But Liverpool hold a firm interest in the Sweden international who scored 23 Premier League goals last season. So let's wait and see what happens with that. We will be speaking to Arne Slot after the game on Wednesday, after the game against Yokohama Marinos, and that is where Liverpool are at the moment. Open training tomorrow, and then the game itself. So stick with us across the Echo for all of that coverage. It promises to be an interesting couple of days as Liverpool round off their tour of Asia, and who knows what happens on the Alexander Isak front as well. So stick with us and you won't miss anything.